All right, guys. So today I am going to go through my application strategy. And I know that everybody has their own thoughts on this, right, wrong, or indifferent. We share the same purpose of getting tags, and we want to get tags and have opportunities in the fall. So I'm not saying this is the best strategy, but this has worked for me and definitely is something that I fall back on every spring when we're applying for tags. So I kind of consider myself I guess I'd say an opportunistic priority hunter or strategy. And I guess I'll just explain that. So I want to make sure that I hunt that well, let's back up a little bit. I'll say that I'm a high country, early season, opportunistic priority hunter strategy for getting tags, application strategy. So that being said, the first part is high country. I have over the past 20 plus years, I've hunted mostly high country, and so that's what I know, that's what I love, and I've got really good at hunting the high country. I just love that environment. Geographically, I think that as a bow hunter, for me, as long as I am physically fit and ready to go into the season, I'm more effective in the high country. I'm more effective in the cliffs, in the ravines up there, in the canyon edges, and tree patches, those kind of things. The topography of high country is way more effective as a bow hunter for me. So that's when I'm looking at applying for tags. I won't even look at low sagebrush areas. And even in some of these videos, I'm hunting an area that's low country, and I just gravitate towards the high country. So that's kind of the first part. Is I will specifically pick out units that have high country areas, mountain ranges, that kind of thing that I can hunt. So that's the number one thing. The number two is I'm an early season. Most archery tags are in the early season, September, even into August. But I'll gravitate towards those more than any other tag out there. I have hunted the late season. I'm set up more with my gear for the early season, and I've been more effective. So that's kind of what I shoot towards. That kind of brings up a point, is like, I think apply for what you're good at. Pursue what you're good at. If it's a different species or a different terrain, or if you find that you're effective in a certain strategy or certain area, then I would gravitate towards that. But yeah, so high country, early season, right? And then the opportunistic part is I will apply for tags that I can get every year, or I've set myself up in a way that I have tags every single year. So I was a resident of Idaho for 20 plus years, and I was a resident there, and then I moved into Wyoming, and in that process I got my lifetime Idaho license, which gives me the ability to get a general season Idaho tag. I just have to pay non-resident price. That also allows me to have the same draw odds as a resident. So if I put in for limited entry hunts, I'm basically a resident in Idaho. And then I've moved into Wyoming and I've spent my time here. I've been here 3 years. I've gained my residency, so now I'm a resident of Wyoming as well, which allows me to buy a general season tag. I can hunt the best units in the state, archery, early season, high country. And so I know every single year I can get a Wyoming general season tag. I can hunt that from September 1st all the way to the 15th. And then in Idaho, I have a guaranteed tag as a general tag statewide. Actually, yeah. Yeah, it's still a statewide tag, yeah. So because you're a resident, so it's still a statewide tag, general season. And so after the 15th of the year, if I want to go bow hunt until the 30th or 31st, I have the ability to do that. So I know that's a guarantee, and that kind of jumps into my priority category. So I'm an opportunistic hunter. So I want to make sure that I hunt every single year because I believe knowledge is power. And the more knowledge you gain in a specific area, the more effective you will be. Especially if you are hunting a certain age class. It's very weather related, it's pattern related. There's just so many factors that if you hunt a season once every 10 years, you're taking such a snippet out of that, of your knowledge base of that unit, that you're not going to be as effective as if you're hunting it every couple years or every single year, in my opinion. Now that being said, I mean that's just talking about general season. All right, and that goes into my priority. Like I said, I have number one priority is Wyoming. I mean, there's nothing like Wyoming. I mean, you cannot, if you have not experienced it, I would recommend it. Now, you as a non-resident, it's difficult to get into these high country units, even on a general season tag. I mean, I think it's like 10 points in this area that I hunt, and then 4 to 6 on neighboring high country areas. So as a non-resident, it's just unreal. It's just not possible to have the knowledge base that I believe is needed to cover these areas effectively. But yeah, so priority 1, Wyoming. Priority 2 is typically, now here's where we kind of jump into the limited entry stuff, but if I am able to draw an early season high country coveted Idaho archery tag, and I'll go into that a little bit deeper later, that's typically going to be a priority 2. Now, sometimes those season dates are earlier than my Wyoming hunt, but I will not sacrifice my Wyoming September 1st to 15th hunt just because I have another priority 2 hunt in a different state, no matter what. So I did that a few years ago where I tried to lump all the tags together in the same. I hunted Idaho, Wyoming, and then I was trying to get to Colorado within, I think, 2 weeks, and it's unrealistic. So yeah, I will not let anything affect the Wyoming. I mean, limited entry in Idaho, if I get one, that's going to be a priority 2, or in a different state like Colorado, which I try and hunt every 2 to 3 years. So that's kind of the way that I go into the application season. I have a mentality that, like, I will not sacrifice what I know and love and my priorities,
hey guys,
for even a limited entry
tip of the day.
super hard to draw tag. I mean, I don't think there's a tag in the West.
Travel at night.
Other than maybe, you know, Arizona Strip or something like that, where there's potential for a monster 240, 30 buck, you know,
locations at night. So
I probably wouldn't even sacrifice
those prime times
my Wyoming situation for that. So
there's nothing different.
That being said,
night
I go into it pretty chill. Like I go into it because I've set myself up with these general tags to where I can
place, I guess. So
I know I can hunt every year. I know I have good areas I can hunt. And that, you know, talking about Idaho, I've hunted that so long now that if I hear of a deer in an area, I've been there before, and so I can almost return to it as if like I almost live there, you know. So yeah, that's kind of the baseline. Now, talking about specific tags, this is how I kind of run it out. I check first of all, I check my work schedule, I check my time off, and I try and maximize my priorities. So priority 1 gets the most days, priority 2 is the second most, and I work myself down the line. If I end up with more days, then I try and apply for hunts that are you know, like a 3rd season Colorado or a 4th season, well, I guess it wouldn't be 4th season, but a late season archery hunt or something in Washington, you know, something like that. And I kind of shoot for the stars. And so if I end up drawing that, you know, then it just is a good opportunity, but it doesn't affect my priorities. So and I create an Excel sheet every year. I put the draw odds, and I would recommend that everybody does that. You know, build your schedule based on the time that you have and the effective dates of hunting mule deer specifically. Like, stay away from October, stay away from late September, stay away from, I don't know, there's not a lot of hunts in December, but it just gets different when you get crunchy snow. There's a lot of dates that you can think about that would help you in the application strategy of finding those hunts. So but basically, like for the 2025 season, here's how it works out for me. I have a general season Wyoming, September 1st to 15th. I have a general season Idaho lifetime tag, which starts August 31st as an archery and goes all the way to September, I guess it's September 30th, archery, and then October 10th to I guess if I jump units, I can go to the 31st. So those are set in stone. I have those every year, no matter what. And I'm also able to possibly pick up a second Idaho tag during the August 8th sale if there's return tags from non-residents. So I have done that in the past. It's getting a lot more difficult to do that, but it is possible. And then if I end up drawing a limited entry tag like a Colorado, I'm typically not going to mess up my Wyoming hunt, but if I will maybe dive into the muzzleloader first season, I guess, and it's like the 9th through the 16th or something like that, which if I ended up tagging out in Wyoming, I would jump to Colorado on that muzzleloader early season tag. But like I said before, priority 1 is Wyoming, and then if that happened, I would end up down there into Colorado. So you know, and then like I'm applying for expo tags, I'm applying for super tags. There's all these lightning strike applications that I'm trying to go for, but I'm just not planning on it. I have put in for lifetime species a few times, but I just love mule deer so much that I can't let a year go by that I don't make an effort to draw a good tag for mule deer. And so yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, that's kind of how it works out. I mean, it's weird because like most people will build their application strategy around limited hunts, like ones that they're going to draw with the points that they have. I do it the opposite. I find the hunts that I have general season tags in, and then I build my limited hunts around those. And the reason why is I am a true believer that if you gain knowledge in areas, and specifically areas that you live in or you know of, or you've been to multiple times, you have a much bigger, much higher chance of being successful on a bigger deer in those units than even some of those limited, really good hunts. And I mean, I would be cautious to those out there that have 15, 10 to 15 points. Those units have not, I mean, they were once 2-point units, and just because of the pressure of hunting, they've become, this point creep has made them become something that they're not. So that's just the way I do it. I think if you took this strategy and if you used it every year and you hunted areas that are around you, even if you live in Wyoming or Washington or Utah, I know there's good opportunity, but you need to hunt where you live. I think you need to hunt where you can spend the most time, and every single year. So, and I'll kind of put some more, I'll put some stuff on the screen, a little bit of some of the areas I've been to and some of the things that I've been doing, just so you can kind of see. But then in a nutshell, that's my application strategy.